I think we're all quite excited that it could be the so-called flood tunnel booby trap system. But of course, we're going to investigate.
There's definitely a void below these rocks.
It lines up exactly with the anomaly, so it is the anomaly.
The Oak Island treasure hunt just delivered its biggest shock yet. Gold gleamed at Smith's Cove, far more than anyone dared hope for. Rick and Marty Lagina stood speechless as traces of the precious metal shimmered in the water, electrifying their long quest with fresh anticipation. Yet excitement soon morphed into awe when they stumbled upon a handmade wooden ladder descending into a dark, water-filled tunnel. Someone had clearly been here before. And how deep did this mystery run? The glint of gold did more than raise eyebrows. It reignited belief that still-buried riches could lurk all across Oak Island. Mapping crews widened the search zone, and even the trees now seemed potential hiding spots. Centuries of unanswered questions suddenly felt inches from resolution. But what lay beneath promised more than treasure. It hinted at peril. Local lore speaks of a deadly curse. 6 souls have already been claimed, and legend insists a 7th must fall before the trove reveals itself. Undeterred, the team pressed on, determined to break the island's silence. Paul nearly vibrated with excitement as Marty asked whether it was time to roll in the drilling rig. A resounding chorus of yes echoed across the site. Guided by hydrogeologist Dr. Ian Spooner and geoscientist Dr. Michel, the crew zeroed in on a target west of the garden shaft, a zone they nicknamed the Blob. Closer testing refined it still further into the Baby Blob, a compact area that might hide the jackpot. Their map suggested a tunnel 95 feet down could lead straight to the stash, so the bit was aimed at borehole DN1 1.5. Historian Charles Barkhouse took point on drilling as Marty prepared to inspect the garden shaft itself, now pumped out, shored up, and more than halfway to its planned 80-foot depth. Descending into its damp confines, Marty's flashlight landed on the perfectly preserved hand-carved ladder, the same one that had first caught their attention. Proof at last that earlier treasure seekers, perhaps centuries ago, had worked this very shaft. Had they left behind clues, or the gold itself? Above ground, the rig gnawed through earth between 78 and 88 feet, every rotation bringing new suspense. Then a harsh grinding screech cut through the air. Operations halted, gauges checked. The drill bit had punched into an empty pocket 90 feet below, an open void roughly 1.5 feet wide. Geologist Terry held his breath. A natural cavity? A man-made tunnel? The revelation froze everyone in place, just as the promise of real answers seemed almost within arm's reach. Charles immediately contacted the Lagina brothers to report the astonishing breakthrough. Rick, electrified by the news, wasted no time. He rushed straight to the site. What had they just uncovered in this mysterious underground void? Could this finally be the treasure they had spent years chasing? When Rick arrived, the drill operator recounted how the rig had struck an obstruction before breaking into a hidden pocket of open space. The team quickly began to speculate, was this the entrance to a long-lost tunnel? Their excitement surged when they realized that this new find lined up perfectly with data from nearby boreholes. The pattern was becoming impossible to ignore. To get a closer look, Marty ordered a core sample to be taken. Everyone stood around in tense silence as the sample was pulled up. When they opened it, their eyes widened. Inside were chunks of old wood. Could these be remnants of a centuries-old treasure chest? One that once held gold? Terry quickly sent the wooden fragments out for testing, and the team clung to hope, waiting for concrete answers. Soon after, the team gathered at the Oak Island Interpretive Center to go over the lab results with metal archaeologist Emma Culligan. Emma's findings stunned them. The wood sample contained traces of gold, real, measurable gold. It was undeniable. They were no longer just chasing legends. They were finally on the trail of something real. This discovery reignited the team's energy. Their confidence soared as they pushed forward with renewed determination. Drilling resumed at the garden shaft, with the team planning to dig 12 more boreholes. Their goal was to spot signs of human activity, man-made tunnels, hidden artifacts, anything that could bring them closer to the heart of the mystery. Meanwhile, Rick and fellow team member Peter Ramke turned their attention to Lot 26, where they came across an ancient stone wall. This wasn't just any wall. It looked deliberately built and potentially held more secrets. It might be another key piece of Oak Island's long and complicated puzzle. Their search also led them deeper into the island's rich and often strange history. Fred Nolan, a respected land surveyor who had spent decades studying Oak Island, had made several major discoveries in his time. One of his most intriguing finds was Nolan's Cross, a massive, perfectly shaped cross formation etched into the landscape. Fred's son, Tom Nolan, stepped in to help the current team. He brought along his father's notes, maps, and sketches, priceless clues from decades of research. Among these was an old well filled with broken pottery, oddly placed and shrouded in mystery. What purpose had it served? Could it be a hidden chamber or yet another clue? Tom also revealed drawings of something even more curious, a stone arrangement they called the quadrilateral. It didn't look natural. Could it have been engineered by those who first buried the treasure? Each new clue added another layer to the mystery. Encouraged by these discoveries, Rick and Marty dug deeper, both literally and figuratively, into Oak Island's secrets. They were determined to keep going until the truth finally surfaced. The legend of Oak Island stretches back centuries, and one of the strangest events occurred in 1861. At a site known as the Money Pit, long believed to be the heart of the treasure's hiding place, something unexplainable happened. Without warning, the entire structure collapsed. Wooden beams that had been holding it up vanished. Gone. Just like that. Some saw this as proof that something huge lay buried below, something worth hiding. Others believed that ancient religious warriors, perhaps even the Knights Templar, had buried sacred relics and wealth here after returning from holy wars. Their mission may have been to protect something powerful and spiritual, far beyond gold. For years, Rick and Marty Lagina have dedicated their lives to unraveling the Oak Island riddle. As stars of the Curse of Oak Island, their journey has captivated millions. They've spent countless days and nights digging, mapping, and exploring every inch of this mysterious land. And while the fabled treasure has remained elusive, the tiny traces of gold they've pulled from the surrounding waters continue to stoke their determination. Are these fragments proof that the treasure is real? Or are they simply fragments of a centuries-old myth that refuses to die? Adding to the chilling atmosphere is the island's ominous legend. The treasure will not be found until 7 lives have been lost in the search. To date, 6 lives have already been claimed. The weight of that knowledge hangs heavy over every dig, every discovery, every decision. Yet the team presses on, risking everything to uncover the truth beneath Oak Island soil. Every time the brothers inch closer to the truth, the legend looms over them like a dark storm cloud. Could the next step be their last? Over the years, Rick and Marty Lagina have uncovered a string of strange and fascinating artifacts, each one deepening their belief that something of great importance is hidden on Oak Island. They've found ancient wooden structures, worn tools, and coins from centuries past. One of the most intriguing discoveries was a U-shaped formation underground, which immediately reminded them of secretive ancient orders like the Knights Templar. The Templars were Christian warriors from the Middle Ages who went on perilous missions to defend holy lands. Some believe they may have buried their sacred relics on Oak Island, relics that could include not just gold, but legendary items like the Holy Grail or even the Ark of the Covenant. Could the most powerful artifacts in religious and world history really be lying somewhere beneath Oak Island? Among the most compelling finds was an old lead cross. The metal, its shape, and its location all hinted at a potential connection to the Templars. When combined with the old coins and tools previously unearthed, the mystery only deepened. Oak Island might not just be hiding treasure, it could be protecting secrets that would change the story of history and religion as we know it. As the team continued to dig, they scoured every inch of the island with advanced technology, ground-penetrating radar, sonar scans, and core drilling. Every time they found even a sliver of gold or a weathered artifact, it was a jolt of adrenaline. Then they discovered something even more thrilling, measurable traces of gold in the island's water. Was this the final sign that the treasure was close? Or was the island playing its tricks again, pulling them deeper into its secrets? Season after season, the team's resolve only grew stronger. They narrowed their focus to a location they named the Baby Blob, a zone that appeared to have all the right markers for a possible treasure deposit. This time, they planned to go deeper than they ever had before. But the stakes were higher too. The legends still hovered. 6 lives had already been claimed in the search. Would this next dig uncover the treasure, or awaken the island's curse? For the Lagina brothers, the search has become about more than gold. It's about piecing together a hidden chapter of human history. Every artifact tells a story, every clue is a piece of a long-forgotten puzzle. Even the smallest discovery, like a stone shot, reveals new details about who came to the island, what they brought with them, and why they went to such great lengths to hide it. As the team prepared for what could be their most significant discovery yet, they couldn't help but reflect on those who came before them. Generations of explorers have tried and failed to solve the Oak Island riddle. Every step the brothers take is fueled by both hope and caution. Could they finally be the ones to bring the truth to light? Or will the treasure stay hidden, guarding its secrets for another century? Each clue leads further into Oak Island's buried history, pushing the team forward through layers of time and silence. One of the great mysteries from the island's past is the tale of the Lost Tunnel. Years ago, treasure hunters reported digging a tunnel, only for it to seemingly vanish. No one could explain what happened. How does a man-made tunnel simply disappear? Why couldn't future teams locate it again? These unanswered questions kept drawing treasure seekers to the island for over 200 years, all determined to uncover the truth. Today, it's not just adventurers digging in the dirt, it's scientists, geologists, and historians working side by side to finally crack the code. Their focus shifted to 2 promising new areas, boreholes 8.5 and 13.5. Deep scans had revealed something astonishing, a 10-foot empty space beneath the surface. It wasn't just another void. It was a potential chamber, untouched for centuries. The find sent a bolt of energy through the entire crew. What could be waiting in that hollow space? Was it a tunnel? A vault? The final hiding place of the treasure? As the drill pushed deeper into the earth, something incredible emerged, another ancient cross, buried deep in the soil. The sight of the ancient cross filled everyone with a renewed sense of hope and excitement. Could this symbol be a sign that they were finally closing in on something significant? Many believed that hidden beneath the surface were old wooden tunnels, possibly linked to a mysterious location on the island known as the Garden Shaft. Rumors had long surrounded this shaft. Some said it held more than just dirt and stone. It could be the very place where the treasure was hidden. With this possibility in mind, the team took extra care while digging. They knew the ground could conceal fragile structures or hidden voids. Every inch they uncovered brought more anticipation. The legendary tunnels that had been spoken of for generations still remained just out of reach. As days passed, frustration grew. Despite their precision and persistence, there were still no signs of the wooden tunnels. Doubt crept in. Were they digging in the wrong spot? Had the infamous money pit shifted over the centuries? People had been hunting for this treasure for over 225 years, and no one had ever found definitive proof. But just when it seemed like their efforts might come up short, something strange happened. As the team drilled, air bubbles began to rise from the soil. It was an unexpected and thrilling moment. These bubbles could mean that there were empty spaces beneath the ground, potentially the long-lost tunnels they had been searching for. The discovery gave everyone a surge of energy. Maybe they were closer than they realized. Maybe, just maybe, those air bubbles were signs that the legendary treasure lay just below. The team moved quickly, collecting water samples from the site to analyze for further clues. Any trace of minerals or unusual elements in the water could guide them toward the treasure's hiding place. To make their exploration safer and more effective, the team partnered with the Duma Mining Company. These mining experts brought in the skills and equipment needed to stabilize the site. As they began reinforcing the shafts, something unusual happened. Water started rushing in from the land side. This was no ordinary leak. It could be a sign that the team had stumbled upon the mysterious flood tunnels, structures that many believed were designed centuries ago to protect the treasure from being found. The team devised a bold new plan. They would reinforce the shafts with concrete, creating a strong barrier to stop the flooding and allow for deeper, safer digging. They knew it could take months for the renovations to finish, but the wait was worth it. If the treasure truly lay just beneath their feet, they couldn't afford to give up now. As work paused for the reinforcements to set, excitement buzzed through the air. What would they find once they were able to dig again? The Duma Mining Company assured them that when the site was ready, they would be able to explore in the safest conditions possible. That was essential. Oak Island's ground was unstable, and any misstep could be dangerous. Still, the idea of discovering a hidden network of wooden tunnels, filled with ancient relics or possibly the treasure itself, had never felt more real. Duma specialists even speculated that hidden wooden structures could be buried within those tunnels. If true, the treasure could be closer than anyone had ever imagined. Hope soared among the team. Could this finally be it? Could they be the ones to solve the mystery that had stumped treasure hunters for generations? The excitement among the Lagina brothers and their crew was contagious. Everyone was eager to resume digging at the garden shaft. There was one goal: to locate the original money pit, the epicenter of Oak Island's enduring legend. If they could find it, everything might finally make sense: the treasure, the tunnels, the cross, and the centuries of mystery. But for the team, this search wasn't just about treasure. Every artifact they unearthed told part of a much bigger story. Each item could offer insight into who had come to the island all those years ago and what they might have left behind. Some believe the Knights Templar, the secretive religious warriors from the Middle Ages, brought their treasure here to hide it from the world. If that's true, the stakes are far higher than gold. The treasure might include sacred relics, perhaps even the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant. Such a discovery wouldn't just be about wealth, it would be about rewriting history. The team remained determined, ready to face every obstacle ahead. They knew the search would never be easy. Many had tried before them, and many had failed. But they believed in their mission. This wasn't just a treasure hunt, it was a journey to uncover the hidden truths of Oak Island. Truths that had remained buried for hundreds of years. Whether it took months, years, or decades, the Lagina brothers were committed. They weren't stopping until they reached the end of this incredible mystery. As we dig deeper into the legend, what do you think? Could the Knights Templar have hidden something extraordinary on Oak Island? Let us know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe for more.